If you are an English learner from Bihar or any other state of India where English is not given much priority, then this video is for you. So basically, this is a personal challenge where I'm trying to record a video outdoors every week so that I can become comfortable speaking outdoors. And if you are here for the first time, my name is Roshan and I am also from Bihar. And I have been learning English and teaching English for over 6 years now. And this is my profession now, to teach English and to create content on the internet. As I mentioned earlier, that this video is particularly for those people who are from Bihar and a place where English is not given much priority, especially during their school time. I also come from the same background. I went to a very average school where English was not given much priority. And after my class 10th, I realized that how important English language is. And especially if you are a student from Bihar board and you have just passed class 10th, you know that you are doomed. Because in our state, English is not even a subject. You see, in private schools, at least English is being taught as a subject. Literature is there, grammar is there. So students are kind of familiar with grammar at least. But what happens in Bihar, especially in Bihar board school, that they are not even introduced to this language. This language is completely neglected. You know, when you are in class 10th, it is not even mandatory to score passing marks. And because of that reason, students don't even pay much attention to this. They go in class 11th and 12th and realize that without English, they are not going to survive. And that's when they start panicking because they are unfamiliar with grammar. They had never studied literature. And who talks about speaking? For them, grammar is completely new and it becomes a fear. And literature becomes just another form of history chapter which they just cram and memorize. And writing, they think that it is a punishment. Same thing happened with me also. That's why I'm able to relate with you guys completely. But it completely changed when I was in class 11th. I met my teacher and he helped me with literature, grammar, and obviously I got an environment where English was spoken there. And because of him, I fell in love with storytelling. My grammar was very weak. I was introduced to a lot of people with whom I could literally talk in English. And not everyone is lucky enough or curious enough like me to spend that much time to learn this language. So I'm not blaming you guys because the main problem is system itself. But that system is not going to get you a job because once you pass high school, you try to get into a better college. And there you realize that majority of the books and the exams are written in English and your comprehension is not even good enough to understand what is written in the paper and you are not even able to understand what you are reading. And then you graduate, you get your degree, you start looking for a job and guess what? That's where you realize that your communication skill is so weak that you are not even able to pass an interview. English and communication skills, these two are completely different things. But that's not what today's video is about. This video is all about the solutions. So what as a student you can do? I think for a student, this is the worst and the best time to learn English. Worst because we are just surrounded by too many distractions. We have social media, video games, Instagram, YouTube, where it is just filled with too much brain rot content. And especially when you are very young, 14, 15, in class 10th, in class 11th, you don't realize that the media you are consuming is going to make your personality, the person who you are going to become in future. You know, instead of watching brain rot content, try to watch something meaningful. I know the definition of entertainment is to have fun, but guys, if you are from Bihar and you don't have any environment, then what else can you do? You just have to surround yourself with this language. And when you are introduced to this language, don't let the fear of grammar stop you from speaking. And a lot of people, they just start analyzing their English too much. They think that once I learn certain chapter of grammar, only then I will start speaking English. I repeat this same word almost in every single video of mine, that build that muscle memory, start speaking, start writing. You know, don't let that fear of grammar stop you. Just take that step and surround yourself with this language. And I don't know whether anybody has told you this before, but remember guys, speaking English is not a talent. It is just another skill. And you know what is required to be good at some skills? Habits. Repeating the same task regularly, every day, consistently. So, you know the components of English language. Listen, speak, write and read. You just have to do these 4 simple things almost every day. Whether you are doing it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes under somebody's guidance or you are just doing it alone. And the other thing I mentioned earlier, that why this is the best time to learn English is because the kind of tools which we have available nowadays. And earlier, whenever you needed to find a word, you went to find it in a dictionary. But now it is just one click away. You just search it and you get the meaning instantly. So use this machine which is distracting you to make you learn this language. Use your goddamn smartphone. And this section is especially for teachers. I started teaching when I was in my first year of college in 2022 or 2023. I started working in a school. And those days I was completely unaware that how am I going to teach. But once I started interacting with students, I realized that how vague their basics were. So for teachers, it is very important to make their classes curious enough that a student start taking interest in literature, they start writing by themselves. You know what happens in local private schools, that teachers start writing all the answers for the children and the children just memorize every line so that they can pass exam. I think teachers need to collaborate with principal, take permission from authority of your school and make your own curriculum. Don't strictly follow the books which you have. Make it fun, try to improve the basics of a student, encourage them to start writing, reading, and try to improve their comprehension. And once you have built that environment around themselves, then ask them to start talking in English, at least in the class. I know it's impossible to bring that environment at home, but at least you can create that environment in the classroom itself. And that is a good amount of change. By the time they go to high school, class 11th and 12th, they will have enough understanding of this language that they can comprehend it, they can take extra interest and start putting some more time to learn this. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, the problems, the solutions. I know that it's very difficult to create that environment, but instead of waiting for the perfect time, start today. And if I get enough response on this video, I might start a group session especially for students. The price will be very reasonable. So if you are interested, just drop me a message and wish me luck with this challenge. I mean, I want to experiment, I want to do a lot of videos, but again, that fear is holding me back. So I am working on my fear and you should also work on your fear. So that's the video. If you have watched this far, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a few comments and share this video with somebody who is trying to learn this language. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.